Hello, my name is Régis Philibert. I'm the maintainer and developer of Huge, which is a Hugo framework we've been building at the New Dynamic. The idea behind Huge was to first use the many features we've been building throughout the years for our own agency and give it as an open source, but also to simplify some core functionalities of Hugo, like its asset pipelines or its image transformation features, which are using a lot of complex Go templating rather than simple declarative configuration files. So Huge brings more configuration files, less complex Go template, and on top of that, it has also many features that everybody could benefit from. Let's start with Huge styles. As you can see, all it takes is one configuration files, making it very declarative. Huge config styles.yaml, it could be TOML, it could be JSON, whatever configuration language you prefer. We declare 3 styles in there. The main one, which is using Tailwind, and the input is a Sass file. We have the carousel one, which is going to be a simple CSS file, but it's internal note, which means we have a style tag rather than an HTTP request, rather than a link tag. And then we have a library that we imported ourselves with an integrity set to true. What happens is in your code, the only thing you have to do is using the Huge styles tag, calling the name of your style. And here, if it's the home, we want the carousel. So we're going to be using those 2 styles. This one doesn't have a name in the configuration, so we can use the path. This one does have a name, so we load it here. It's going to be loaded in that particular order. As you can see, now we have our main Tailwind style, which has been minified because in production it's by default. And then we have the animation styles, which is using the integrity hash, and it's fingerprinted, and the carousel style, which is wrapped inside a style tag rather than using a link. That is how you can use Huge to declare and transform and print your styles directly in your project with minimal Go template. Huge scripts is used the same way as styles. There's different functionalities, different settings that you can add, but I'll let you review them in the wiki. Another feature is SEO. This is something we've been building throughout the years so that with 0 configuration, you can build a decent amount of HTML tags for your SEO. And we've included it into Huge. All you have to do is use that little partial in your pages. And based on the front matter of your file, it's going to generate all the HTML that you need, including JSON LD and everything you want. There is ways to override the default behavior with a simple function called SEO data, where you can just complement the data that's going to be passed to the SEO. There is also a fonts feature where you can just load a bunch of fonts with some YAML files, pointing to one base file name in your assets directory, and that little partial in your head, Huge will be able to build this in your HTML, which is mainly loading the fonts with a prefetch tag and then creating the font face style that you need, so that all of your fonts will then be available instantly. There's also the media feature. This one is a very elegant and simple way to transform images using Huge and Hugo. Hugo has its own image transformation solution, but just like scripts and styles, you need to make it happen from the templates using its own API. But with Huge, we made it very simple. You can just use path and width and rotate, pass directly this way into the Huge/media get function, and it's just going to return that transformed image that you can see here. And on top of that, you can use one external service, which is ImageX, by just pointing to your ImageX domain. You can look at the ImageX solution on the wiki for more information. And that's all we can jam into 5 minutes. If you want more information about Huge, I'd strongly recommend checking out its repo at github.com/thenewdynamic/huge, especially the wiki, which has a nice page for each features we covered and some we didn't even cover in the video, with much more information about how to set them up and use them. There's also an article we published recently on thenewdynamic.com called Introducing Huge. You'll find it in the articles page. And it'll give you a more detailed approach about the setup, the usage, and the use case. That's it. I hope it was interesting and clear enough. And I hope you're projects will benefit from Huge in the future. Thank you.